In this tutorial, we're going to discuss an experiment to learn more about friction force. This experiment is on page 17 of the book. It is composed of different parts. The first part is surfaces under test. Second part is the test block. It has a weight on it to vary normal reaction force. And the forces acting on the block are the weight of the block or the gravitational force, the normal reaction force, that is vertical upwards, and in this case if we increase the weight, the mass on the block, the weight force and the normal reaction force will increase. And we know that the normal reaction force and the weight are balanced forces. That's why the net force here is equal to 0. This allows us to determine the effect the weight has on the friction force. Now this block is attached to a string that has on its end a weight. We can put many weights, so it would pull the string in order to move the block. So here the force that's going to move the block is the result of the weight being added. And the objective of the pulley is to maintain the thread to keep it good and not worn out by repeating the experiment. Here the forces that the weights are exerting is the weight force, and it is vertical downward. And if the weights aren't able to move the block, this means that the friction force is bigger than the weight force. In this case, all we have to do is increase the weights. We can also repeat this experiment by changing the weight on the block to see the effect of the weight of the object on its friction force. As the weight of an object increases, its friction with the surface increases. Here, the effect of the type of the surface in contact is also a factor. So we can try this experiment with different surfaces, like using sandpaper. Sandpaper is really rough. This means that we get higher friction. This means we have to put more weights so the block would move. The last conclusion is that an object moves on a surface when it overcomes the friction force.